Hi folks, welcome back. Today we'll go over a story named, I Destroyed Everything in Vain. Folks, this story is composed by a lady and she will share her entire story and sob hysterically about how she totally obliterated her marriage. In addition to her marriage, the relationship with her significant other, but also her children. She never had relations with some other man aside from her husband, and began getting exhausted like a ton of ladies do and contemplating whether the grass is green on the opposite side, and in the end has an affair with a young man who's married too. Yet, very much like this large number of such stories, the husband found out. But the husband isn't one of the men who simply cave and pardon her and pay attention to all her fake tears and she gets away with it. No. He's done, she's toast, and not just with him, but the kid as well. I'm doing this one to act as an illustration of how in this day and age, in our Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world, if you believe you're protected with your significant other, because perhaps you just ended up getting a lady who was a virgin and you thought, since she never connected with any other individual, I am safe. Wrong, because again, in this day and age, where you're not an empowered lady, unless you demand an open relationship or things like that, some of these young ladies begin pondering and then, before you know it, they're exhausted and see opportunity, they step out. Check out the number of stories where that has happened. The number of you guys who have been in a circumstance that happened to you. This thought that you get yourself a virgin and think you are safe is now wrong. That thought was dare-brained, and I stand by that among numerous different things you will find in this story, which I'll bring up along the way. She starts off, I don't actually have the foggiest idea where to start. I have annihilated my family. My husband is leaving me and my kids don't want to be in the same room. My sister proposed I post here to perhaps get some guidance. I required a ton of work to try and type this out. I've been weeping for a really long time, and I figured out that I was misleading myself by attempting to make myself to look appealing in this story. What help is there when I can't tell the truth to myself? I am isolated without help from anyone. I'm in a horrible state, and this is out of control. Sorry about the massive hogwash ahead of time. I'm a 38-year-old female, my husband is 39. We have 4 kids, 15 to 8 years of age, and we've been together since I was 16, married for 18 great years. By the way, you will see that she seems like she has a decent life as far as the family, the children, the dynamic in the family, how her husband treats her and all that. But she discarded it all only for some hot dog. She says, I had an unsanctioned romance, and it felt perfect for some time. Now looking back, I realize it was a dream, a fantasy. Now I'm so embarrassed, I don't even have the words to try and portray it. I can't even look at the mirror. Everyone despises me, including my own sister, who is the only person that might take me in. My sister is a cheater, by the way. What's with this family? Her partner left her for it. Still, she hollers at me continually saying I am a piece of garbage. She learned about my undertaking right off the bat. She cautioned me I was on a way to catastrophe in the event that I didn't stop right away and confess all. I was excessively narrow-minded and moronic to see that. I was too enveloped with myself to pay attention to her, so I wouldn't stop. She thusly cut me out of her life until she picked me up. You had your admonition from somebody that had to deal with it, yet you didn't listen. You know better. My husband begun divorce procedures and doesn't have any desire to converse with me. I don't actually have any idea how or regardless of whether I can fix any of this. He has said he would come and chat with me the most recently, but he hasn't showed up. I can't fault him. I hurt him so seriously. I broke him, my family, my children, and myself, and I wish I could remove their aggravation and vanish. All I do is stay in bed gazing at the roof, detesting myself. Whenever it hushes up, it seems like my heart is attempting to escape from my chest. I get fits of anxiety where I battle to inhale. I'm not really ready to eat. Whenever I fall asleep, I'm in my bad dreams. I see my significant other's aggravation, and him taking a gander at me without affection in his eyes. Well, she can begin a vocation as a writer with the manner in which she's composing here, great masterwoman. Get to the point. The therapist that I've been seeing believes this might have begun for me around 3 years back. My closest companion from school kicked the bucket unexpectedly from cancer. She never wedded. She was an accomplice at a law office and had a luxurious way of life. I've always respected her. Maybe you've forever been desirous of her. While you're attempting to be straightforward, let's just be real with you. I have an oak profession in marketing, and I have been a housewife for significant stretches when our youngsters were little. The time at home with my kids was the best time of my life. So your husband brings in sufficient cash that you could be a housewife for a significant stretch of time, and the time with your children is the best time in your life. It seems like she has it very great. Hold on till she depicts how her husband treats her. He goes to show you all that you can do this multitude of extraordinary things, give a pleasant life, but to certain ladies it doesn't make any difference. For some reason I began reevaluating my life when my companion passed on, particularly what I hadn't done. I turned out to be extremely disparaging of myself. I began feeling deficient and my confidence plunged. I had just been with my husband and I began to dislike him for it, like he had denied me sentiment or encounters or something. Your husband denied you sentiment encounters or something. You will pin it on him that you didn't get sufficient wiener when you were more youthful. That was your decision. As a general rule, I curved around in my mind. It was me that truly sought after him. I was the one that wanted marriage and a family. So there you go, that is typically the way that it works. The lady drives the gentleman into the relationship, the marriage, and the families. Don't fault him since you didn't have sufficient sausage when you were more youthful. I felt like I ought to have improved my life, experienced more and accomplished other things. Some way or another I figured out how to fault my husband for every last bit of it. I didn't truly converse with him about it. Where it counts, I knew I was dumb. Still I developed anger and steadily after some time I would drive my husband away. I had not a great explanation at all to feel as such. I had a caring, mindful spouse, cheerful, solid youngsters, a steady employment, incredible intimate life, side interests, great well-being, decent excursions, companions, incredible extended family, and great economy. My life was superb by most measures. It wasn't flawless, but who's this? I'm certain individuals could hear this from different areas of the planet, where people don't know where the next meal will come from or whether they will be attacked. They will listen to this and be like, what a grumble. You, this large number of pleasant things in your life is unfilled? My more youthful sister got engaged around this time. She's been a digit of a hardcore partier growing up, and her life partner was brilliant. I became envious of her, like her life had been exceptional than mine in some way. Well, hardcore partiers code for a merry-go-round rider. My sister betrayed her life partner before they got hitched and he left her. She was crushed. It's fascinating, both these young ladies are miscreants, and both these ladies had fellows that were solid and kicked their girlfriends to the roadside when they learned about their thoughtless activities. Marvelous. She has told me that was her greatest lament, yet it's just now that the shoe was on my foot and I comprehend her. In some way, I got fixated on her bamboozling. I began having dreams about it.